time to understand the block manager and what you get inside the block manager when you work within Brizy. Start building your page, click here on the plus in the middle, and this opens, well, I call it block manager. It gives me blocks, and blocks are, well, pardon the pun, the building blocks of how you make a page. Often you will hear me refer to it also as a section, block, they're all the same. Let's select this one at the top. Just click on it and it will drop onto the page, and this is a block. You have this square and then you have content here, which is all the text and element, and you have this image on the right. Now, very important, if anything I do here you don't understand in terms of how I'm building it out, you need to go and do the WordPress crash course. There we build everything from scratch so that you can understand it properly. Let's bring in another new block, click on add new block, and have a look at what we've got here. Brizy gives us all these pre-made blocks, and I use a lot of them all the time. If it's in free, you're going to see some of them are locked. In fact, many of them are locked. And to bring them in, you will need to go and get a pro license. Many people will pay just for the pro license to get access to the pre-made stuff because it helps you save bundles of time and you don't need to overthink how to create new things. There are so many to choose from. And because of that, you have the categories here on the left. These are the popular categories that you usually get in making a website. At the top, you will start with hero. And then below that, usually features. And then you have a text area if you only want to focus on text. A call to action, which is mostly a button, a link that you click. And if you get bored of this design, you can switch to the dark mode. And it's often good to switch it up a little bit on your site. So the dark mode is like mirror of the light mode. And look, you've got others here like team. If you want to put your team out there, images for them. If you have testimonials, customers, and people who say something about your site. And just like the one I showed you, to bring any of these in, simply click on it. Let's choose this one. And it will drop it for us onto the page. And this image didn't want to load. Okay, not the end of the world because we're going to switch it out anyway. To remove any of the blocks, you go to the block settings and you click on delete, and then you can bring in an alternative. Curious to see if the next image will also not load. Let's go to team. Sometimes it happens on the time of the day. Sometimes it's that time of the day all day long. Let's see if these images come in. Perfectly. They were happy to join our little party. Let's bring in another block, and we are building out a page in no time. In the block manager, look here at the top. It says kit number 2. From the drop-down select kit number 1. Now, kit number 1 was the original set of blocks that came out when Brizy was released the first time. And at that time, it was revolutionary. Most builders didn't have pre-made blocks that you can use. Brizy was one of the very first to do that. Now, how these guys look in style is very different than kit number 2. Kit number 1, I would say, are base blocks to start with. And I actually like coming here all the time. Look at this one here. You know, if I look just at this is a very standard good block. And you will find that those go-to basics you're going to find in kit number 1. And just like with kit number 2, you can switch between light and dark versions. Look at this nice one with these little progress bars that we have. Okay, the colors are different because of global styling, which we'll be talking about very soon. Just by going through all the pre-made blocks, you have these categories. You can bring in your call to actions. Very soon, and this is kit 1. Let's switch to kit 2 and go back to call to action. What I was saying is, as we did in our first tutorial in WordPress crash course, we were actually building these out by ourselves. But what you have here is ready-made ones, ready to go, and you can build out an entire page with this. And all you need to do then is what we did in the first course. Module 1 is you come in, click on the image, and then you change out the image. Select the text, type in your own text. And you can change the background, go here, and we change the color. Very easily done. For this one, I can go ahead and change the color to white, so it stands out a little bit better. And very easily, I don't need to make huge design decisions. I can just use these pre-made blocks. I just want to call out again that while I was clicking on this image and you saw what I did here, and you're like, wait, how did you do that? Why did you do that? How did you change it? If you don't know, you need to go and do Module 1 WordPress Crash Course. That's where you should start. If you know that, this stuff is going to be easy. I'm not teaching you in this Module 2 how to build. I'm teaching you other stuff. And that's what we'll be looking at very soon is the global styling, the colors, the typography, and how to move out all that content. And let's step it up then. Instead of pre-made blocks, let's talk about pre-made layouts.